In the very beginning, the ancients, the peoples of fabled Atlantis, those of the mystery schools of ancient Egypt, those who were members of those forest temples of India, ancient India. In the very beginning, the ancients were the closest to originality and truth. They had achieved what modern man has not. And that is the secret to activating the full potential of the human body. Popular culture refers to these humans as sun gods, but they were just humans who followed an ancient science. The ancients left mankind artifacts illustrating the sun, the pineal gland, the tree of life, and DNA. The ancients did this to preserve the most important process on the earth, which leads to spiritual activation. Jesus and his disciples were the last to demonstrate this power of spirit through the human body. We are living in a time where modern science is confirming ancient science. Many of the ancient methods for spiritual actuation, for spiritual ascendance, initiation, are explained by medical studies and corroborated and backed up through quantum mechanics, quantum physics. Many ancient symbols are actually rooted in science, which tends to lend credence to this fact. The ancients were as advanced as modern science. Where modern man, where we are behind, is in spirit science. And to understand the superhuman abilities of the metahuman, of the ascendant metahuman, to rise beyond your Terran modality of existence, where you're trapped in your five senses within the third dimension, trapped within the digital matrix. But to understand and to grasp and to begin to foster and develop these superhuman, metahuman abilities, you need to have a metaphysical or Eastern philosophical understanding of the universe. The belief and experiences of adepts in the East is that the reality that we experience all the time is really an illusion. Underlying this illusion is the life force, or God, of the universe, source of the universe, which exists outside of time and space. In fact, the basic belief, the basic tenets of Eastern philosophy is that the spirit at the core of our being is part of the same underlying living spirit aspect of the universe. Even Christianity can be interpreted to say that God's spirit within us is really that God force at the core of our being, which is also outside of time and space. Now, this is a very similar concept if you understand the illusion of the world, or samsara in the Hindu Eastern philosophies, can be penetrated when you live more in your spirit as part of the process of enlightenment. When you rise above the illusion of the five senses, when you obtain objectivity, you begin to penetrate this illusion when we live more in our spirit. And as we understand at a deeper and deeper level the underlying spiritual reality of stillness, the more we can manipulate the reality illusion to obtain the abilities of the spirit. Very similar concept underlying the Matrix movies. When you fully understand the underlying reality of spirit, you can do things in what most people call reality, which would seem impossible without this deeper understanding. Another analogy we could use is the ability to create an atomic weapon. The results of blowing up atomic weapons would seem as the power of God to a person ignorant of nuclear physics. Once you understand the physics, then it's just an engineering challenge to build the weapon. And similarly, once your spirit understands the underlying reality of spirit, then it's just learning the correct techniques and processes to acquire what seem to be superhuman abilities. Our consciousness is only a spark of the same consciousness that creates the entirety of existence. We are fractals of God. And the same awareness that is God is what is alive within us, within our divine matrix, what we call spirit. There is no multitude of consciousness. It is one and the same in everything. The same awareness, sentience, pervades all of existence. It only manifests itself individually in the individual human through our egos, which is the illusion of separateness. Therefore, nothing gets divided, and by our submission or our transcendence of understanding, we abandon nothing but become what we are meant to be. Even though it appears like a paradox, through the transcendence of existence, we affirm the realization of the meaning of existence. And part of this power, these superhuman powers, is realized through spiritual technology, through ascension modalities, and beginning with the power of our sun, the rays, the light rays that come from our sun. The planet Earth's habitat lies in the sun's bubble, known as the heliosphere. And it's reasonable to suppose that all the matter in our solar system, from planets and asteroids to earthly life forms, owes its origin to our very own star. In a material sense, then the sun is our God, our source and provider. Ancient Egyptians and Greeks believed the sun we see is just the physical form of a higher, intelligible, or spiritual sun. And Philo of Alexandria called it the son of the sun, or galactic sun, this Alcyon, as it's known in the Palladian system. The son of the sun, the intelligible object behind the object comprehensible by sense, and from invisible fountains, this sun supplies the visible beams which our eyes behold. In addition to the light, heat, and solar winds the sun sends our way, the Greeks taught that our psyche receives a more subtle, invisible life force called pneuma. This is the same life force as Kundalini life force, as Chi, as Prana, as Ki, as Vril, as Orgone, as Radionics. All of this life force, mana by the Hawaiians, which along with the rays of the light spectrum, enters the human being via the eyes. Now, why is it important to be aware of this force? Simply put, tapping directly into the generator increases your energy supply and intensifies the light. Once linked by a powerful, unobstructed path of current, the circuit becomes complete. The output of the sun is the vivifying stream of life itself. And for the spiritually inclined seeker, illumination advances exponentially as you increase your exposure to the source and the intake of the light rays. You will become a sun runner, in essence, taken from the 7th degree of the initiates of Mithraism in ancient Rome. And this sun runner title denotes a higher state that one may aspire to, similar to the ascendant metahuman. So, why is the eye the principal organ of absorption? our eyes, windows to the soul, so to speak. How does the intake of light parallel the reception of the life force of the Kundalini, of the Pneuma, and the Greek terminology? In Plato's Republic, he asserts, of all sense organs, the eye is most sun-like. Moreover, he tabulates the simile of the sun, demonstrating that in the visible world, the sun is the source of growth and light, granting us the faculty of sight and visibility to objects of sense. While in the intelligible world, the sun behind the sun, Alcyon, the great central sun, the great galactic sun, is the source of reality and truth, granting us the faculty of knowledge and intelligibility to objects of the mind and thought. Our world and its inhabitants have their origins and sustenance in the sun. We are all stardust made from elements of the sun. So it is vitally important to become proactive with bringing together your own spiritual skill set, toolbox. But the very foundation of your metahuman, superhuman abilities is to begin to create that skill set. And the first step in creating that skill set is taking care of your genetic vehicle, the temple of your soul. And do that simply begin by earthing, what they call earthing, barefoot out in nature, getting your eyes directly connected to the sun. And it starts from there. And it could just be a little bit of time, spent staring into the sun gazing. And you will begin to feel that invigoration, that restoration of your spirit. And then once you get your house in order, your spiritual temple in order, your physical genetic vehicle in order, your power flows into your soul and then thusly to your spirit as you're connected to the galactic chakra, which is connected to the galactic central sun, and then you become an agent of the sun, a sun runner. Stay tuned, folks. We have more sun technology, spiritual technologies, and ascension modalities ahead for future information dissemination video offerings from the Om Banda New Earth Ashram for compassion and strength and sun technologies.
Namaste, Namaskaram.